Hey you guys, so today we are going to be making banana bread or banana cupcakes, banana muffins, banana cake, all of the above. So this recipe works for all of those. Of course you'll have to adjust the baking time, but you can use this recipe for all of the options. So the first thing you want to make sure you have though is some really ripe bananas. So you don't really want them to be mushy feeling inside, but you do want them to be nice and brown all over. So these are pretty large bananas. So you probably, for the recipe I'm making today, you really only need maybe 1.5 if they're this size. If they're a little bit smaller, then maybe 2. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get all the ingredients out and we can get started. All right guys, so this is everything we're working with, so I'm gonna get started. Okay you guys, so the first thing we're going to do is to our flour we're going to add our cinnamon, salt, baking soda, and baking powder, and you just want to whisk those together really well, and then you'll just set that to the side. Alright, so the next thing we're going to prepare is our bananas. So for this recipe, we need a total of 6 ounces by weight of bananas. And you'll want to weigh them after peeling them. And you'll also want them, weight divided. So you'll want 3 ounces, and then you'll also want to weigh out another 3 ounces and just keep it separate. And this is because we are going to mash half of the banana and then we're going to puree the other half. When I was developing this recipe, I tried it with all of the banana mashed and I tried it with all of the banana pureed. And while it was good, it lacked that super banana flavor. So that's why I decided to do a combination. So I do half pureed and half mashed, and to me that gives the best flavor. So just set that to the side once you get half of it mashed up, and then we're going to use a blender to blend this all together. Now you don't have to use a blender for the whole recipe. You just need a blender just for the 3 ounces of banana. So you can use like a little handheld blender to puree up that banana. But I like making the whole recipe in a large blender if you have one. So this recipe, you can actually double it and it should fit into a standard large blender. But to the blender, you're going to go ahead and add your white sugar and brown sugar, your orange juice, the egg, your sour cream, and your oil. So basically all your wet ingredients, and also the 3 ounces of banana that has not been mashed. You're going to toss that in. And then you're going to pop that on the blender, and we're going to blend it up for about 15 to 20 seconds. Now if you're making this without a large blender, you'll just want to puree the banana. And then using a hand mixer or even just a whisk, you can mix the remaining ingredients together by hand. So once we have that mixed in the blender, we're now going to add our dry ingredients to this. And then we will pop the lid back on and pop it back on to the blender for another 15 to 20 seconds. Once you see all of the flour has been blended up, you can stop it. So I'm using a pretty powerful blender here, so it only takes about 15 to 20 seconds for me. So So then you'll just want to scrape down the sides of the blender just to make sure there isn't any bits of flour that didn't get mixed in well. And then we are going to just stir in that mashed banana. So this way, by blending in pureed banana, you get the flavor all throughout the cupcake or the muffins. And then stirring in this mashed banana, you also get the little bits of banana in the cupcakes also. So once you get that mixed in really well, you're going to want to scoop these out. I am using slightly larger than normal cupcake liners, and I'm also using a number 20 scoop, which makes a slightly larger than normal cupcake. So you should be able to get anywhere from 9 to 12 cupcakes or muffins, depending on how large you decide to make these. And in my case, I get about 10 cupcakes. So we're going to pop these into a 350 degree oven, and again, depending on the size you decide to make, it will take anywhere from about 15 minutes for small cupcakes up to maybe around 22 minutes for a muffin. So here's a little tip for you guys while we're waiting for those cupcakes or muffins to bake, is if you have issues with your cupcake liners kind of folding into each other when you put them into the muffin pan, kind of like they'll kind of do like this sometimes when you put them into a muffin pan. If you store your cupcake liners in just a standard coffee cup, it kind of forces the muffin liners to stay tight, and so when you put them down into a muffin tin, they'll remain, their shape will remain, so you won't get those weird little crinkles. Just a little tip. And that's it, you guys. Don't they look super yummy? Now, I like to pop these out of the pan right away, and then just let them cool on the counter. But I hope you guys try this recipe out and that you enjoy. And I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.